in one time, she made it open that there is war. Second Biafran war is going on in Biafra land. Just like it happened in 1967. In 1967, while they were bombing Biafrans, people were dying in millions. In Lagos, people were enjoying and going about their businesses as if nothing happened. In other parts of the country, people were going about their normal businesses while there was war going on in 1967. The same thing is happening as we speak. That sister went in the front and she interviewed people, brought information out, and we say we have people that represent us. We have people who come every day to make noise on LANDD. There is one I saw his video that claimed to be the leader of LANDD. Coming to talk about the case of Basinanka. He was first of all telling people to go and get their PVC. Imagine that idiot. An idiotic, when you see the way they reason, when you see the way they act, you see that their mind is beclouded with evil, full of evil. You came to make a speech about the head of Mazen Nandekano, but you first of all started by telling people to go and get their PVC. Who are you trying to patronize? Who are you trying to patronize? You just use Mazen Nandekano to draw the attention of people, and you came there and begin to talk about a different thing altogether. Second civil war of Biafra is going on in Biafra land, and nobody is paying attention. Instead, Nigeria is in the front line, blackmailing every one of us, blackmailing our brothers, and we join them, we help them to support them. Nigeria is blackmailing everybody, pushing propaganda with their government, using the Biafran politicians in Biafra land, Igbo Biafrans, even some agitators, some people who own their camera to come and claim to be agitators. People who speak in the name of Biafra, the government of Nigeria is using them to blackmail you, blackmail me. And you can't see it. You can't see it. Just like the recent blackmail upon a liberation army of Biafra, gentle. Everywhere they have decided to change the narrative and turn everybody against him. And so many of you followed that trip. Even if you don't agree with him. Even if you don't agree in his modus operandi. Must we all agree? But you forgot that there was a time he was the person holding ground to make you have a name. You forgot there was a time he was the person holding ground to give you a face, the face that you have today. You've forgotten that. Ohanes Ndibo was the first people to come out and congratulate the Nigerian government for pushing that propaganda. The next thing, fellow agitators coming out and to support that evil. But look at the northern part of Nigeria. Look at what is going on in the northern part of Nigeria. Look at what is happening in the northern part of Nigeria. Go to northern part of Nigeria and see what is happening in the northern part of Nigeria. In the northern part of Nigeria, they are backing up their terrorists. They are even threatening people. Sheikh Gumi came out and threatened people not to talk about their terrorists. A sheikh came out. That is how they protect them. But in your own, let me play the video. You see where they had a program. Sheikh Gumi was defending warning the government, do not talk anything evil about the terrorists. Sheikh Gumi was warning the federal government of Nigeria. And everybody's going about it. There was no outrage. But you say bring your own brother and kill him. They attack your brother, you follow them and celebrate it. They attack your brother, you are the very first person to celebrate it. Oh, now they have captured who?
Cleric Sheikh Ahmad
Listen to
Gumi has stirred a fresh controversy by cautioning security operatives not to provoke terrorists after a peace arrangement was reached in Katsina State. Well, in a Facebook post, Gumi insisted...
Did you hear that? Sheikh Gumi is cautioning federal government not to provoke the bandit, cautioning them, warning, strict warning. I want you to pay attention.
By cautioning, controversial Kaduna-based Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has stirred a fresh controversy by cautioning security operatives not to provoke terrorists after a peace arrangement was reached in Katsina State. Well, in a Facebook post, Gumi insisted that any attempts to confront the armed groups could plunge the region back into bloodshed. Well, his comments followed a peace dialogue held in Faskari on Sunday involving residents, community leaders, and bandit commanders, including the wanted kingpin, Ado Alero. Video evidence showed heavily armed headers attending the meeting and interacting openly with locals and traditional authorities. Meanwhile, just before the peace meeting, some gunmen suspected to be bandits reportedly killed an officer of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, identified as CCA Adamu Abdullah, in an ambush along Yantumaki Damusa Road. Well, the incident reportedly occurred on Friday at approximately 5 p.m. in Dafa village when the bandits laid deadly ambush against the NSCDC personnel. Well, 4 other personnel equally sustained injuries in the attack. We've been joined in the studio here by Dele Fanimo. Dele is a reporter and a political affairs analyst. Good morning, Dele Fanimo, and thanks to have you.
And Chukuma.
Good morning. Okay, beautiful. Gumi says we should not torpedo the peace deal with bandits because they have the power to do damage. What does that speak to the fight against insecurity?
As a matter of fact, it's too complacent of government to not have arrested Gumi before now. How can somebody who is not a state actor initiate, dictate, and talk on behalf of non-state actors that are dealing with the country?
That is what Shegumi do, and they can't arrest him. Nobody can arrest Shegumi. This is not the first time. It's not the second time. It will not be the last time. This is somebody Saudi Arabia refused to enter their country. Saudi Arabia refused him to enter their country, and this sheikh have continued to support the bandits, the terrorists in Nigeria, threatening the government not to attack the terrorists. And of course, you know that they have people in Asarok. The terrorists have, the vice president of Nigeria is a terrorist. He's the one that formed them. He funds them. In the House of Assembly, we have many of them that have been revealed in the north. You see how they have covered everywhere. But in Biafra land, where people are asking for legitimate rights, for their legitimate rights, self-determination, you brand them criminals, you brand them terrorists. You say bring them and kill them. And even our own people will be in the front line to celebrate their downfall of their own brand. But in the north, they are keeping theirs and preserving their people.
By now, this man should be tried for treason. He became a terrorist to the extent that Saudi Arabia had to send him back when he went on Lesser Hajj. Is that not instructive enough? How can you
Nigeria can't even arrest
parade terrorists along with state security apparatus having a meeting over what? One of the earliest teachings or early teachings of James Sadi Chase when he was reading in the 70s was that you don't negotiate with a blackmailer.
Okay.
Because the more you negotiate, the more they come back for more.
I was coming to that, what you said. When you say that he's not a state actor.
He's not.
But he's been negotiating, intermediating between the government and the bandits.
Government made him so.
So he's an actor.
But tell me exactly the position he's holding in government.
This man is making a sense because he is mediating between the terrorists and the government. So he's an actor. Government made him an actor. So you're calling him a non-state actor. He's a state actor employed by the government. Shegumi is a state actor employed by the government to speak for the bandits, the terrorists, and the government. And you see him organizing meetings, organizing peace summits, where the bandits will come with their ammunitions, the government will come and they sit and talk. and they don't see anything wrong in it. But in Biafra land, this same Shegumi gave them advice to recruit ordinary Biafrans. This same man was the person that gave them advice. Recruit ordinary Biafrans to go and fight themselves and kill their people. Go and fight the agitators. And our politicians heed to that advice. Federal government of Nigeria took that advice, sponsored the politicians to create different security outfits. They sponsored the politicians to create different kinds of security outfits. And today, you see what the chaos they are causing. But they will come back and they will blame Biafran agitators. They will blame Gentle. And some of you will be jumping up. You'll be rejoicing along with them. Now look at how foolish you are. Listen.
That the lot will now fall on him. That he should be the one to be talking on behalf of government.
Concerned citizen.
Concerned citizen? Which means he has the modus operandi and the actors of this game. He should be brought in and interrogated to give us clues as to the whereabouts. Of course, he knows the whereabouts of all these bandits. He mingles with them.
He has said that openly.
And for him to even say, this is a veiled threat to authorities.
Okay, talking about actors, state actors and non-state actors, we had the governor of Zamfara State like 2 or 3 weeks ago said, look, if I have the powers, I can stop insecurity in Zamfara State. In 1 month, I know the terrorists, I know their hiders, I know where they are.
But it's helpless.
From what?
No, what Zamfara State governor, his own case is different.
Okay.
He is not mingling with them in the open. Even if he has any meeting with them, it will be in the closet.
At the point, he was accused by his predecessor of liaising with them, having liaison with them.
Was Matawale not accused of doing such? No. You see, if these terrorists or whatever they call them, bandits or whatever, I don't consider them as bandits. They are terrorists. Now, if they are assailing the state to the extent that it's becoming overwhelming, the governor can begin to have sort of negotiation, buying time for the right people, for the right machinery of government to strike. The point is, I, as a person, I don't believe in all this hide and seek.
Now, talking about Nigerian government and its way of handling these issues with bandits, you know, we've constantly used the words kinetic and non-kinetic approach. We've used that a lot of times. This negotiation seems to fall within the realm of a non-kinetic approach towards the issue of banditry. Yesterday, Monday, we hear that about 40 worshippers, you know, were abducted from a mosque in Zamfara State very early in the morning by some bandits, of course. You know, took about 40 worshippers from this mosque. And in Katsina, we're talking about reaching a peace deal. And the picture that came out of that peace deal, I saw a picture where an individual had cartridges, you know, on him. And then had
ammunition.
Cartridges, and then had
around him.
AK-47 by his side. What is the optics? Does that look good? How does that affect the image of Nigeria? If you know,
it's not even the image of Nigeria that is affected.
Sees that.
If you have that rifle, is not going to be AK-47.
It is actually.
It is.
If something higher.
Yes, it's higher.
But the fact that
it's likely to be
that
general purpose machine.
You are having that
submachine gun
at a peace meeting.
That's what I'm saying. That optics alone is enough to even scare residents away from Katsina. Because in a way, you are validating their existence by having a meeting with them. Even if you want to come to a peace meeting, why should that person be armed to that point? It shows that you are showing, you know, that we are overwhelmed with what we have. Come and see the kind of weapon these people are parading. That's exactly what they are showing us.
So it's more like a show of strength.
A show of force against residents of that state. And where would they run to if government had already surrendered? Because it's a surrender.
That's what it seems like.
That's what it seems like. Why should it be? Why should we surrender?
Okay. Well, this will be a good place to anchor this conversation. We'll talk more about this and other issues during newspaper.
You see, when it comes to the issue of the North, this is how they discuss it. They come on their national TV, they come and they rant and shout and shout and shout. But when it comes to the agitators, people who have a purpose why they are doing what they are doing, the Biafran people are not terrorists, has never been terrorists. We love life, we value life. We are not violent people. We are not, has never been violent people. But the government of Nigeria has decided to force that violence into our territory. Biafra land used to be the most peaceful part of that zoological republic. The most peaceful part of Nigeria is Biafra land. But the government of Nigeria have pushed insecurity by them. They single-handedly sponsored it and make sure it exists from the time of late Muhammad Buhari. They planted that seed and they have succeeded in recruiting Biafrans themselves. They have recruited many Biafrans after they have created poverty, created fear. They pressured so many people to submission. And as I speak, many people have submitted and they are now working with the Zoological Republic to continue to increase the insecurity. These things are not rocket science. People on the ground have investigated and they came out with the results. We are getting reports day in, day out on what is happening. You can even see by yourself what is happening. Every single security outfit formed in Biafra land. Why is it that each time they are formed, the only thing they go after is those people agitating for Biafra? Have you seen, has anybody come out to testify that he was kidnapped and the person say, Liberation Army kidnapped me? Have you ever had that? Has there been any testimony anywhere where somebody came out and say, the Liberation Army of Biafra kidnapped me? If you have seen any, please send me the video. I want to see it. Send me the video. Have you ever had anywhere that somebody came and say, it was the Liberation Army that raped me? Have you ever had that? Have you had a report anywhere where somebody came out and said, the Liberation Army came to my house and raped me, raped my family? Have you ever had that? Have you had any testimony? I mean, an eyewitness account. Somebody come out and testify and say, the Liberation Army came to my house and murdered everybody in my home. Have you ever had that? But yet, so many of us are believing lies and propaganda that is being pushed by the same people that want to destroy you. They cook their lies. They push it out and you help them to promote it and support it. They tell you that you are an a liberation army of Biafra has been captured and you are celebrating. You are happy. You said now you are free. Let me see how you are free. Let me see how you are free. Even though it is an unverified information, a propaganda, that is what it remains a propaganda. You're already celebrating. Every single security outfit they create, their plan, every time they come, they will make a broadcast. Everybody is fighting for Biafra should stay clear. They don't form security outfit to fight the terrorists that are kidnapping people, the organ harvesters. The terrorists, the security outfit they form is to go against the Biafra agitators. That is what they do. Every security outfit, that is what they do. What is the problem with you and those who are asking for self-determination? In the northern part of Nigeria, these are people, terrorists that have no targets. They are not asking for anything. All they want to cause is havoc. They don't have any targets. There is nothing you can tell me that this is what these people are aspiring for, nothing. But yet, in the north, they are secure. A sheikh is standing up for them, negotiating, and they are going on peace talk, peace deal everywhere. But when it comes to Biafra land, it is you, your people and my people that will come and call them to go and bring all the ammunition and fight. And even as we speak, we have seen them go for negotiation meeting. We have seen several meetings where they were negotiating. For terrorists. When they come to the meeting and they come with all their ammunition, well equipped. And nobody dare says anything. Nobody attacks them. They will attend a meeting with the government of the zoo. They will attend a meeting with them. Terrorist group, well armed to the teeth. And there is nothing anybody can do. But when it comes to the issue of Biafra, they will say, bring them and kill them. Bring them and kill them. Look at Mazin Nandekan today. Ill wants to go to the National Hospital in Abuja there for treatment. He's not asking to be flown abroad. But we know that some people, some criminals have been flown abroad. Some people that are detained who are have been flown abroad for treatment. But Mazin Nandekan is asking to go National Hospital in Abuja for treatment. They refuse it. They refuse him. He's not asking for anything. National Hospital in Abuja to go there and take treatment. And they refuse him. These same people will come and tell you about one Nigeria. And some of you join them to promote that idiotic agenda. Some of you join them to promote the evil agenda. Some of you join them to promote the evil agenda. How long are we going to continue to watch this terrorism happen? How long will you continue to watch this terrorism happen every blessed day? What else do you want to see before you will know that enough is enough? What else do you want to hear before you will now know that enough is enough? What else do you want to see? You want to see your head rolling on the floor before you will now know that there is danger. Is that right? You want to see your head rolling on the ground, rolling on the floor, before you will now understand that yes, there is danger. What else are you waiting for? Why is it that you see your brother as an enemy? Why is it that you want your brother dead, but the real enemy, you are dining with them and whining with them? I want you to hear this one.
The picture of the man bandage was given chieftaincy title. And the government officials were invited to the ceremony and they attended it. Is it not the same country where they were giving bandits wives? One state was organizing women for them. That if they got married, they would be...
Oji, look at the military fatigue the guy is wearing.
Come on.
If you dare wear that camo, the military will beat you blue black in public. But look at him
wearing
the military cap.
Unacceptable.
It's the audacity and boldness of impunity. That's right.
Bandits and terrorists are criminals.
They are all together. We'll take the story in Katsina State, where reactions have trailed the peace deal negotiations between one of Nigeria's most wanted terrorists, Isaiah Kwashen Garwa, with a community in Faskari local government area of the state. The deal was announced on Sunday in a post on X by Zagazola Makama, a security analyst specializing in the Lake Chad region. In the post, Makama explains that for a long time, the terrorists had been linked to kidnappings, killings, and raids across forest areas in Katsina, as well as neighboring states. Reactions to the story have been divided. While some see the development as a chance to restore calm in long-troubled communities, others question the sincerity of the bandit leader, recalling the atrocities attributed to his group. I mean, look at this man out there holding a rifle. He's out there, Rufai, and meeting with community members. And this is the sort of conversations we're having right now in Nigeria. I'll take the reactions trailing the story, and then we will continue. In the meantime, here is a reaction. This is from an ex-user, wrote on X. Is the peace deal the required justice for the numerous lives that were wasted and are still wasting so many years of setbacks, not only for the direct victims of insurgency and the Northeast, but also for the country in general? Negotiating peace with bandits and enemies who held the entire country hostage for so many days is synonymous with encouraging others to constitute themselves into groups to wage war against the country with the mindset of being granted amnesty after so many years of infiltrating havoc and destroying lives. Meanwhile, a peace deal that was intended to end years of violence in Nigeria's northwest has collapsed after bandits abducted 40 worshippers in Zamfara state. The peace pact had been signed on August 28 between community leaders and bandits in Katsina state. However, less than a month later, gunmen attacked a mosque in Gidangtobe village in Safe local council and abducted dozens of worshippers during morning prayers on Monday. Despite the setback, the Katsina state government is saying they support community-driven pacts with repentant terrorists, but maintain a policy of zero negotiation. What sort of contradiction is that, Rufai?
So when you see a society that the oppressors are beginning to have a very free reign, and the people that the government ought to protect, the government can't protect them, so they try to look for deals with their oppressors. These are vestiges of a dysfunctional society. You will have thought that this government will focus on that, but they'll never focus on that. They'll focus on politics. And that's why they were doing elections in Zamfara State, 5 local governments. I can't still process that thing. They deployed officers from Gombe and other parts, military officers, battalions were there. In security, you will never see that kind of mass deployment. You see, because number one, the government doesn't really care about you that much. So you are left in the hands of kidnappers and bandits. You have to beg them for peace deal. And that's the dysfunctional society we live in. And it's that kind of dysfunctional society that breeds people like Bago. That Badegi FM held his feet to the fire. He felt no other thing to do. He said he was going to demolish the station. Thank God Badegi FM didn't call to him. You know how many media stations that have called to dictators and outright bullies in this country? They took him to court and he was repelled. Now he wants to look at the sermons of preachers. At a point, if care is not taken, I'm not saying he has done it, but at this rate, maybe he'll start looking at all the phones and the call log of everybody because he wants to censor thoughts. The best antidote to react, if they say you're not doing well, is to do well. But in a large regard, in a very big aspect, yes, he has gotten some successes right in agriculture, but in trampling of rights and things like that, he has not done well.
Yeah.
And we have to tell him what it is. In that interview, he made many blunders. And please, his chief press secretary should walk him about what they call image. He thinks he's straight talking, but he says a lot of rubbish. Just like what he said in that interview, that Borgu local government is bigger than the entire Southeast. Empirically, it was proven to be wrong. Borgu local government is not bigger than the entire Southeast. Right. So is this not the same man that told his police orderly to slap an imam or something? Yes, and the next thing, his reaction was, oh, he was an imposter. So even if it's an imposter, you say they should slap people like that?
All right.
So, you see, we have a dysfunctional society that celebrates dictators, give them a free reign to rule, to lead, to hurt, to demean, and we are meant to go and say rankadede to dictators. And when you speak out, you are told that you are not patriotic, and they will couch it around religious and tribal lines.
I mean, this is the situation that we have in our hands at this point. We have this terrorist leader who's actually on the number 9 on the DSS list, most wanted, and he's out there. His pictures are there, and he's negotiating with the community. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. We have a picture of the man.
One bandit was given chieftaincy title. And
the
government officials were invited to the ceremony, and they attended it. Is it not the same country where they were giving bandits wives? One state was organizing women for them. That if they got married, they would be...
Oji, look at the military fatigue the guy is wearing.
Come on.
If you dare wear that camo, the military will beat you blue-black in public. But look at him. Wearing a military cap.
Unacceptable.
It's the audacity and boldness of impunity. That's
bandits and terrorists are criminals.
They are.
They do not deserve jollof rice. They do not deserve chieftaincy titles.
Yes.
They do not deserve any form of negotiation.
No.
The law of the land must be made to follow its course.
Well said, Dr. Batin.
This is the country that Finland is working with. This is the story of the country that Finland is working with. This is the story of the country that gave Finland information that they used to come and kidnap our prime minister judicially. You can see the story. This is coming from their own conventional media. But in the case of this conventional, they will never hide this news. This news will be said only once and they are done with it. They will never mention it again. It is only when we get hold of them and we begin to play it over and over again. But just as they have discussed it, they have down detention. The next thing now, they go into politics and it will be politics. They never talk about security in Nigeria. Their conventional media. These are the most dangerous media, you can say, Nigerian media, the most dangerous of all. And look at this very simple story, tells the story of the country that Finland is dealing with. This is the country that gave Finland the information they used to detain their own citizen, a man that have served them for years. A man that served them. This is the country, this is the picture of the country that provided intel for Finland to kidnap our prime minister judicially. You can imagine a country that sit on the table with terrorists, known terrorists that have no other objective except to kill, to destroy, and to take life. They are seeking for nothing. There is nothing they are asking for. There's nothing they're asking for. And the government is there, sitting down with them. Number 9 most wanted person. Number 9 most wanted terrorist in Nigeria. They are discussing with him. They are reporting with him. You heard him, they say, some of them were giving chieftaincy title. Some of them were giving wives to marry. In Nigeria, this is the country that is providing information for Finland against our prime minister. What a shame. And you tell me that Finland has not joined the League of Terrorist Countries? When you are aiding and abetting terrorism, you are equally a terrorist. That is what it simply means. So from all the contexts, you can see that Finland have joined the League of the Terrorists. Is it difficult to know? It is not. But that is the fact. That is the fact. So when we are talking about the situation of the Zoological Republic, when it comes to the issue of Biafra, they continue to mount pressure on us so that we will succumb. They mount pressure on us to make us surrender, but we will never surrender. We will never surrender. They are mounting pressure on us to make us begin to reason like senseless people. They want us to be afraid of our freedom. They create fear among us. But I bet you, we will never stop. The most challenges we are facing today, in the course of the restoration of Biafra, the challenges we are facing today is mostly the different factions we are having among ourselves. Factions that we are having among ourselves is drawing us back. And again, leadership approaches is one of the things that is drawing us back today in the course of Biafra. Different factions and leadership approaches. This is making us to lose our stand on international level, making the world to look away from what we are doing. Lack of unified command weakens negotiation, diplomacy, and mobilization. If you don't know that, know that. Lack of unified command weakens negotiations, diplomacy, and mobilization. When I talk about unity, I know why I cry about unity. We need to unify. We need to have a unified front for us to forge ahead. You can term it whatever you like. You can get angry with it. You can hate yourself for it. I don't care. I don't care. In every of my program, I talk about unifying ourselves, having a unified front. I talk about unity. If you don't care, like it, you go to hell and burn to ashes. You can't continue to deceive yourself. Without unity, it will be almost impossible for us to achieve what we want. Another factor that is really troubling us today is the harsh repression by the Nigerian state. The harsh repression by the Nigerian state. Arrests, detentions, killings, disappearance of activists. They use that to create fear, to push us back, to make us afraid of what we are doing. Look at Mazen Nandekano languishing in jail for no just cause, denying him his treatment. Look at Mazen Simon Eba, taken in by Finland authorities. Look at the propaganda they are playing, how they are attacking our liberation army everywhere, there at night. Look at the killings in Biafra land. Disappearance of activities. That one, Biafrans are disappearing every day. Even Amnesty International have made a report on disappearance of Biafrans. They have warned that the disappearance of Biafrans is increasing. All this thing is to put fear in us so that we don't do what we are supposed to do. The military clamped down in Southeast and labeling of agitators as terrorists, a daily occurrence. people that are agitating for their freedom, people that are asking for self-determination. You label them terrorists just to take their life. In Nigeria, a policeman will tell you that all he needs to do is just put flag of Biafra in you, and he will shoot you. And nobody's going to question him. They say it to you face to face that all they do is just to put Biafran flag. And that is what they are doing. Many innocent Biafrans have been murdered in cold blood. But they wouldn't talk about it. They will go and tell you what Biafran army did. They will take the whole blame and put it on our liberation army. They will take the whole blame and put on Gentle did this, Gentle do that. Propaganda everywhere to make you hate yourself. And some of us are already hating ourselves. Some of us are already helping them to push that wicked narrative against themselves. You think it's about Gentle. You think it's not about him. They push that narrative. You help them to hype it. And the international communities are watching. They are looking what you are saying. They are looking at your own view. They are looking at your own view, your own contribution to that lies. Look at Martin Nandikan today. DSS detention. Despite court rulings, despite all the court rulings, they continue to hold Martin Nandikan in DSS. These are the hindrances that is facing us that we can't overemphasize. Another one is limited international support. The international support we are getting is very, very limited. Global powers often prioritize Nigerian oil, trade, political influence over human rights. That one is the order of the day. What they all care about is the resources. They care about resources, not you, not me. They don't care about us. All the global powers, they only prioritize Nigerian oil, trade, political influence over human rights. When it comes to human rights, abuse against Biafrans doesn't amount to human rights. Genocide against Biafrans doesn't amount to genocide. These are what we're facing. And you still help them to promote the evil against yourself. Western governments tend to view Nigeria as too strategic to break up. Because of their interest. It's not because of the people there. It is not because of the people who are there. It's not because of us who find ourselves in that very captivity. For their own selfish interest, for their own economic interest, all the Western government tend to view Nigeria as too strategic to break apart. You just imagine. They will always seem the reason to tell you, force you to remain together for their own selfish interests. We need to do a lot of work. One of the challenges we are facing today is that Biafra has not yet secured strong diplomatic allies at the state levels. We have not yet secured strong diplomatic allies at the state level.